Along Mulholland Highway in the Malibu Hills, a frantic 911 caller tries to calm car crash survivors. That car belonging to comedian Kevin Hart.
Help's coming, guys. Don't worry. The ambulance is on the way. You guys okay in there? Stay calm. Help's coming.
The CHP says around 12:45 Sunday morning, Hart's 1970 Plymouth Barracuda rolled off the side of the highway. 2 of 3 passengers were pinned in the car.
The roof is crushed, and the car is pretty total. The door smashed in. The A-pillar is crushed into the front of the dash.
The initial report says when the CHP arrived, Hart had left the scene to get medical attention at his nearby home. It states 28-year-old Jared Black was found in the driver's seat, and another passenger, Rebecca Brocksterman, was trapped in the car. But the 911 call from the witness appears to describe Hart as the driver.
Is everybody in the vehicle awake?
Yeah, they're both awake. Sounds like the passenger's stuck in the car. The driver is out of the car.
About an hour and a half later, at 2:13 a.m., a second 911 call is made from Hart's Calabasas home by an unidentified woman. She's asking for an ambulance for Hart and says he was in a crash just minutes before.
Like 20 minutes ago. Okay, and so did it happen in front of your house? No, not in front of our house, outside of our gated community.
The woman describes Hart as immobile.
So he was in a car accident earlier tonight, or what happened?
Yes, earlier tonight. I don't know what happened. He's not coherent at all.
Hart is now in the hospital recovering from serious back injuries. Black is also in the hospital with serious injuries. Brocksterman was not hurt. The CHP says they're aware of the 911 calls and they're currently conducting interviews, but they also say they can't jump to any conclusions about what exactly happened until they conduct a thorough investigation.
It's looking like Kevin Hart is not even supposed to be alive. He's doing things that his friends don't even recognize him for. It's bigger than the George Floyd roast. Dame Dash recently came out and said some shocking things about Kevin.
That was disrespectful. Kevin's another one I think is broke. You know, I know Jamie Salter very well. His OG was Jeff Heckman. His OG was Jay Goldberg. Jeff Heckman owns Hilco. They only do business if it's in distress, allegedly, from what I remember. Like when you deal with like a fund, all that matters is what's the criteria to make the fund deploy. And the criteria for Jamie Salter is usually distress. He only does distress. So he has a vegan business that goes out of business, and then all of a sudden he sells his name, and now he has to sit there and and he has to defend this. You know what I mean? And it's embarrassing. Jay and Kevin Hart are embarrassing because I put them where they're at, and then they went to the devil. And this is what happens. It seems like after 20 years, the gig be up. Like when what would be the things that were said were very disrespectful. Like I'm a funny guy, but there's certain things in the hood you don't say in certain blocks, like pause. You don't talk about mothers. You don't tell niggas to suck your dick, pause. You just don't play with people that are dead. Like you don't play with, it's not funny. It's in poor taste. I mean, it might be a certain kind of humor, but I think in this temperature, based on the environment and the accusations, I just wouldn't see somebody volunteering to do that. And I felt like that could potentially destroy any iota of his career because people were able to tell him the truth to his face. How terrible his movies are, how he'll take $1, and how they could disrespect him while he's there and say it's humor. So if people would have started saying and all that other shit, would that have been all right? Where is the line drawn? There's humor, but then there's disrespect. And that was a public humiliation for our culture to me. And that's not why I put Kev on. So that was embarrassing to me. And again, I look at him as a literal little brother. Literally. He's little. So I start to feel sorry. I don't understand how, like even his laugh, like it was so contrived. You know, you saw certain black people just not laughing. Dave Chappelle would have never let that happen. Cat Williams ripped him. Pause. And he had to say, "Thank you, sir. May I have another?" From what I understood, and it's funny because I was on the plane the morning after it happened, going to see the Don Farrakhan, and it came up on my feed, and I watched the whole shit. And I was like, oh, shit.
If Kevin Hart is really broke, that explains why he's so willing to get everybody riled up in the black community.
I think in this particular case, Kevin, he kept bragging on the Breakfast Club about how it was his production, right? That means he got to make decisions. There have been any number of roasts prior to this, whether it was the one about Donald Trump, whether it was the one with Joan Rivers, all of these people, including Tom Brady, said, these people are off limits. We don't like these jokes. Let's cut them. Just like Kevin did. There were a lot of jokes that were cut, including some regarding Tony Hinchcliffe himself and the military and vets. They listened to it, and all of them passed the sniff test. Well, not all of them, but George Floyd. And George Floyd represents so much to this country. The world basically stopped.
Right.
So you have a lot of people who are still suffering from anxiety, from trauma, especially the family. So for Kevin to get on that show and talk about it and then be so indignant about, no, I didn't hear the interview when Lauren said, did you hear the interview that I did with his family member? No, and now I won't listen to it. It was almost as if he was angry about the possibility of something that might have made him feel bad about his decision.
They said when he got in his car accident, he walked home from the crash, even though the other two people in the car died. And when his wife was on the phone with the police, she said that he was incoherent, but how was he able to get all the way home from a car crash? He might not even be human at this point. People are confused as to why he's doing the things he's doing. He's probably got a remote control, controlling everything that he do, that he say. For the life of me, I just don't understand.
Were you surprised by people's reaction?
From the roast?
Yeah.
Not from the people that aren't aware of what a roast is, right? Like,
I mean, the general public.
I'm not surprised, but you here's where we're like falling into a weird space. Okay, the roast isn't a new format of comedy
At all.
The roast and roasting is a specific format that has existed for years,
Forever.
right? Roasts are meant to be brutal. It is a style of comedy. It is hard-hitting jokes that also have shock factor potential.
The black community is so proud of you. Right now, George Floyd is looking up at us all, laughing so hard that he can't breathe.
People should be upset like the George Floyd jokes.
I can say that some jokes weren't in the best taste. There was some that I wouldn't tell. Mm-hmm. Not my style, not what I would do, but some people are looking for that.
Right.
They're looking for that.
But let me say this, I talked to Cheryl. I think that those jokes about her husband, they hurt her feelings a little bit.
Her husband committed suicide 3 years into their marriage. I've been sitting next to her for 2 hours and I have to ask, how did he last that long?
I think a lot of people were taken aback by that joke.
You should be. It's in poor taste, but that's how they roast now. I didn't know exactly what they were gonna say. If you're gonna go against my husband taking his life, let's talk about mental health.
So the jokes attached to Cheryl's husband and him passing, from my understanding, there were conversations with Cheryl, and Cheryl said, no, you're fine. Like, by the way, not my business. I don't know if it did or didn't, but from my understanding, it did. From my understanding, Cheryl was okay because a call was made. At the roast, okay, jokes get said. All right, oohs and ahs.
The way D.L. Hughley and Dame Dash broke it down really got me thinking that this is all about money.
Here's the thing, I said this. I think one of the questions you hear is, why are we, after 2 weeks, still talking about a George Floyd joke? The alternate question to that is, why after 6 years are we still doing them? So I understand that, but I am a performer. I've said any number of things that have been offensive. I don't like what happened. I don't know that I'd have laughed at it. First off, I wouldn't have had somebody that I was that opposed to on a roast, because a roast is an intimate thing. It's about friends and people kind of giving each other a hard time and fucking around. Especially when you knew what he would do and you knew what would happen. The things I come away with, and I said it last week, I don't like that you cut jokes, meaning you were trying to protect people. You aired it in the first iteration, but not the second, because you knew how controversial it would be.
It'd be funny, man. Who people, they're supposed to be thorough, but they always fold for the devil. The devil meaning money. If you fold for money, you're no longer cool. Your rock star status is taken if you'll do anything for the devil's dollar. I don't respect you. I don't think you cool. I don't give a how much money they give you to betray our culture. You are a goofy.
Let me know what y'all think about this in the comment section. One thing for sure, something very strange is going on with Kevin Hart. I can't put my finger on it. It can be a list of things.